Whatever. Well, thanks, Malika. We welcome you to Dallas, where Ja Morant and the Grizzlies start their two-game road trip, taking on their Southwest Division rivals in the Dallas Mavs. It would be an understatement to say both teams have had rough stretches over the last few weeks, but both have also had an opportunity to right the ship here tonight, as both are currently still in the playoff picture. Welcome to NBA Courtside, presented by DoorDash, and this is what the standings look like coming into this game. Memphis, though they've been dealing with a few key injuries, they're optimistic to get a few bodies back relatively soon. Still in that fourth spot, and for Dallas, they're in the final play-in spots ahead of Phoenix, 2.5 games. So they are in that final play-in spot for the West. As we welcome you courtside, thanks for joining us for International Women's Day broadcast. I'm Angel Gray, alongside the Hall of Famer, Dorisberg and Cassidy Hubbard. Will be joining us momentarily as well, and we'll just dive right into how the Memphis Grizzlies are coming into this game. They could easily use injuries as an excuse. No Jaren Jackson, who is so pivotal for them in so many different categories, but Ja Morant being back in the rotation does so many different things.
He does. Listen, they're going to miss Jaren on both ends of the floor. He's a former Defensive Player of the Year, but they're still the second highest scoring offense in the league, and the driving force behind that offense is Ja Morant. He came into the season proclaiming, "I'm done dunking, don't tell us that, Ja." So what do you do if you're done dunking? You take more threes. He's been a little bit of a struggle from there, just 28%. You wonder how much that shoulder injury is impacting the shooting. But let's remember, Memphis put in a new system, and it's all about creating one-on-one opportunities. You give this man one defender to beat, and he's going to do some things. And just so you know, the moneymaker is this. Dunking. There is Ja at his absolute best.
That's the Ja that we know and want to see here tonight. But on the other side, you have to think about who they're taking on. And for the Dallas Mavs, they can come into this one, and you're thinking about how dejected they can be, losing 5 of their last 6 games. But for them, their approach has to be a little bit different. What do you foresee them stepping on the floor like tonight?
Well, if you're Klay Thompson, it's exactly what you did the last game, which is let it fly. He took 27 shots. He was 6 for 14 from 3. You know Memphis is going to score. Yes, it's been inconceivable how much they have lost in terms of talent and scoring, but there is a 4-time champion. He's got to lead the way with his aggression.
A true bet, and we do have Cassidy Hubbard that has more on Dallas.
Yeah, Angel, when it seemingly feels like there's nothing else to say about the Mavs' luck, Jason Kidd had a pretty straightforward message for his team. No one feels sorry for you, but people do empathize when it comes to injuries. Just look at how scarce the Mavs layup line looks at this moment. They are only playing 9 players tonight, with Caleb Martin and Dante Exum back in the lineup, but both will be on minutes restriction. Jason told us it's next guy up, I guess, but we're running out of the next guys, especially after Kyrie Irving's season-ending knee injury, which Klay Thompson called, quote, a gut punch, not just for the Mavericks, but basketball fans around the world. And Angel DB, it's undeniable that it's a tough time for the organization right now, but as Jason Kidd added, the games keep coming, and this one is their first home game without Kyrie.
Cassidy, as we know, the show goes on, and that's exactly what both teams are entering here with the mindset tonight. Just a few moments away from the tip here at American Airlines Arena. Grizzlies get some depth back, and the Mavs looking to get back in the win column. We'll have the action after the break.
NBA Courtside on ESPN is presented by Dash Pass, your door to all things basketball.
The postseason is on the horizon, and the view is cloudy out west.
Squabble up. Squabble up.
Surrounded by contenders, the Grizzlies are in a tough stretch, but determined to work their way through it.
Oh, what a play by Morant.
Resilience is one of the best things that we've done. We just got to rally, got to stay together. I mean, our group's going to respond.
Mavs are feeling some pain and will need to pull together to stay in the mix.
It's the character of that group, and they're going to fight to the end. No matter who's in the jersey, we're going to go out there to try to find a way to win.
Another 3 for the captain.
Every game counts as the season winds down.
And we welcome you to NBA Friday, presented by State Farm. And as we get the action going here in Dallas, courtside at the American Airlines Center, we'll first start and take a look at tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Visit California. And this is how it's stacked up coming into this this one for both teams that have been riddled with injuries. For Memphis, Ja Morant playing back-to-back games. Talked about how he's been getting back due to that shoulder injury. Desmond Bane, who has been stellar for them. Jalen Wells, Santi Aldama also back into the rotation after missing the past few games. And Zach Edey, the center and anchor for them, standing at 7-3. And Dallas, we are seeing their 34th different starting lineup. That is tied for the third most in the NBA. And Dante Exum back in the rotation. He sat out the last game due to illness. Max Christie, Klay Thompson coming off his second highest scoring output this season. And he has been stellar as we are moments away from getting things started. And here you're looking at Ja Morant, a very dangerous individual. He talked about not being that threat at the rim as much, but what he has done for his team in the times that he's been on the floor is add a little layer of how playmaking should be, leading his team in assists.
I'm curious to see him tonight because against Oklahoma City, there were several moments in game, Angel, where you could see the grimacing, that shoulder was really plaguing him at times. So I think it's going to be management the rest of the season. Cassidy will have more on it later, but just very curious how aggressive he is to start.